Welcome, race fans, to the Racing Roundup Show. For 39 years and counting, we are your destination for news and interviews from within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd live and in person for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, gang, how are you? Glad to see you here on a Tuesday night. We're looking forward to seeing you on another Tuesday night if you can't make it tonight, but we have some great giveaways. Great guest lineup once again. It's our May 9th edition of the Racing Roundup Show. We are live at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We'll be here for the next 90 minutes or so with some great giveaways after the program. Come on down and join the racing crowd. If you can't join us, we're online, racingroundupshow.com. Like us on Facebook. We're streaming there live now. Watch our show on demand on either location, Facebook or our website, racingroundupshow.com. Follow along with us on Twitter, Instagram, at Racing Roundup. We have an exciting show for you tonight. Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup sponsored champion sprint car racer Bill Balog is here in the house with his people. It's great to see Bill here. Might be his first time. Hopefully it's not the last time in 2023. We get the 10-time IRA champ with us. NHRA is racing May 19th through 21st at Route 66 Dragway in Joliet, Illinois. We got a man who's going to qualify top 16. He might even qualify P1, man. He's ready to go. TJ Zizzo is here in the house. He's ready with that Rust-Oleum machine. We'll talk to TJ about his run and a return to his home track for the NHRA Top Fuel run May 19th through 21st at Route 66 Raceway. Plus, we'll connect with the racing teammates RJ Braun and Steve Apel. They raced on Sunday in the Joe Shear Classic, but they also finished 1-2 or 2-1 if you talk about Apel first, then RJ Braun. The most recent Slinger champions went 1-2 in the Miracle on the High Banks race at Slinger a couple of Sundays ago on the ASA Midwest Tour Opener. We'll talk to both of those young late model drivers. Steve's actually crewing for his brother tonight, Jared. We'll talk to Steve here in a few minutes. And we really want to tell you that we had a bunch of fun over the weekend. We had some short track results for you, some NASCAR results for you. And come on down and join the racing crowd. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. And if you want to take a peek at the J2 Woodworking Tribute stand, I'll call it that for now. A lot of great names from Wisconsin racing history. That's here as well. So Jim Wirtz is in the house. You want to talk to him about personal woodworking projects you may have or a cool way to make your rec room even cooler. J2 Woodworking has stuff like what he did for us available for you to create with him. So thank you, Jim Wirtz and J2 Woodworking as well for all you do for that show and as you get ready for your dirt racing season this year around the Arena Grand National. We're going to recap the Joe Shear Classic as well. We have a lot more to come on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Come on down and join the racing crowd.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Hey gang, Richie Bickle here. I want you to join us for the largest short track party at sea. Sail to Eastern Caribbean on the Norwegian Encore this coming January 7th to the 14th. Join Scott Hansen and myself and a bunch of other drivers on Bickle's Bon Voyage cruise. Enjoy unlimited craft beer, drinks, gourmet food. You might even get to race against it on the go-kart. We'll have a special question and answer session for the racers on board, and I know it'll be a ton of fun. Escape the January winter weather. We'll see you in the Dominican Republic, Tortola, and the Bahamas, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Sail the Caribbean with us January 7th through the 14th on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Call Mark at Making Memories Travel at 262-527-1341 or visit mymmtravel.com and click on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Link for information.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back on this Tuesday evening. The garage door's up behind us. The wind is breezing through. There's a bunch of folks getting loaded up for the Milwaukee Brewers home game. Every Milwaukee Brewers home game, Paulie's has shuttles. There's a concert happening downtown tonight. Yeah, Paulie's got a shuttle for that. He's open 7 days a week. Come on down to Paulie's Pub and Eatery. Enjoy the atmosphere and get on those free shuttles. They're going all the time, including every Milwaukee Brewers home game. They did a lot of Milwaukee Bucks home games when they were still playing, and concerts of galore. Live music here, live music. You want to get a shuttle from Paulie to get you to and from the front door. The Midwest Truck Series started their season on Sunday afternoon with James Lynch, recent Racing Roundup Show guest Aaron Moyer, and fast qualifier Oak Creek Automotive sponsor James Swan is the top 3 finishers in the Club Lamarck Joe Shear Classic 36-lap race at Madison International Speedway. The Midwest Truck Series brings us this segment of our program. Their next race is coming up on Saturday, May 20th at State Park Speedway in Wausau. The series is sponsored in part by Pathfinder Chassis and Widener Automotive. Visit MidwestTruckSeries.com for more information. We have giveaways this evening. Thank you to Bill Baylog. He brought 2 of these beautiful little jugs. Bill Baylog limited edition Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Syrup jugs. Got 2 of those. Some racing T-shirts as well from TJ Zizzo. Thank you, TJ, for bringing those down. We have some racing hats from Obam and other great suppliers and providers over there, as well as Bonafide Security Solutions. And we have some really neat Hales Corners Final Night T-shirts that Jeannie Fortner got from the Al Fortner collection. He made those for the final night of racing in 2003. We have some of those to give away tonight among our prizes, including an Interstate Batteries racing calendars as well. So if you want to win with those, come on down and join us here at Paulie's. This evening we'll do the giveaways after the program. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR Report. Interstate is a proud sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. They also are the #1 replacement battery in North America. And Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. On Sunday, Kansas Speedway hosted the NASCAR Cup Series for what many call the best race of the year so far. The race featured 37 lead changes among 12 different drivers. That's a record for the most ever in a NASCAR Cup race on a 1.5-mile oval. Kyle Larson recovered from an early race spin and was in the lead on the last lap when his Chevy got loose just by a tick exiting turn 2. He got the nudge from Denny Hamlin with the right front headlight of Denny Hamlin's Toyota. Larson's car scraped the outer wall. Hamlin scooted away. Hamlin wins the race. Larson finishes second. Larson said after the race, quote, "Yeah, he was side drafting pretty aggressively," end quote. Hamlin said after, quote, "I got position on him there, tried to side draft him and clipped his left rear. At least he got to finish the race." William Byron, Bubba Wallace, and Ross Chastain finished 3rd through 5th. Slinger, Wisconsin resident Josh Blicky finished 33rd in the Cup race. Ross Chastain connected a right cross on Noah Gregson's cheek after Noah approached Chastain, grabbed him by the uniform, and that was not cool for Ross. He said, "Don't do that. Don't do that." The two were separated before Noah appeared poised to swing back. As of today, NASCAR says no penalties for either driver. Saturday's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race had an exciting ending to Stage 2. I was pretty excited watching it on my phone at the reception at the little pig roast going on at Madison International Speedway with some racers. Seymour, Wisconsin's Ty Majeski raced hard to win the stage over Corey Heim. While racing for third later on, not too much later, Ty's race changed dramatically soon after the race went back to green as he was positioned outside of rookie Rajah Caruth Chevy off of turn 4. Caruth moved up the track and contact was made. The left front headlight of Ty's truck to Caruth's right rear. Caruth up in the wall. Ty pinned behind Caruth against the wall. Ty's race was basically over. He did finish the race in 25th. Staying clear of any conflict was race winner Grant Enfinger over Corey Heim. Kyle Busch and in his first race was 7th, and his first race in the number 04 truck out of Texas for owner Corey Roper. Johnny Sauter of Necedah, Wisconsin finished 19th. Johnny flew up to Madison to race the Joe Shear Classic. Ty Majeski drove all night from Kansas City to make it to Madison in time for practice and the drivers' meeting at 10:30 Sunday morning. Real quick side note, Jesse Love ran away with the ARCA Menard Series Dawn 150 victory on Saturday at Kansas. His Venturini teammate Dean Thompson finished second ahead of Taylor Gray and Connor Mosak on the JGR 18. Next up is Throwback Weekend at Darlington for the NASCAR National Series. All three of them in action on the high banks at Darlington, South Carolina, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. We now turn our attention to the short tracks. We got a lot of things happening, and these guys have been after it. They've been teammates. They've had cars that are really high performing, and they've also won the last 2 Slinger Super Speedway track championships when it comes to Super Lates. Let's welcome in next to me, RJ Braun, and on the phone, Steve Apel. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, RJ. Steve, you there? Steve, you there? How you doing, Steve? Steve Apel, you got us? All right, RJ, we'll start with you. You won the Miracle on the High Banks. You backed up your championship from 2022 and the Super Lates, but the ASA Midwest Tour guys showed up. You knew it was ahead of you. A 100-lap race to start the season in April. Man, you were impressive to run that race. Did you have a chance to review it yet, see it again, and play it back in your mind?
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times. I didn't expect to win that race.
Really?
I knew I had a good car going into it, and I knew Steve has a good car every week, and I knew we'd be up front, but I didn't think we would win it. So it was pretty cool.
You run the number 92 on the door. You raced with Conrad Morgan, had a lot of success with those guys working on through your program. And then you said, you know what? I think I'm going to have Steve and his guys work with me on my program. What was the difference for you in the last couple years working with Apel Racing?
Yeah, he's helped me a lot. He's not only helped me with the car and the driving, he's mentored me. He showed me what to do, especially through the championship season. He gave me told me how to get through it mentally, you know. He was very helpful on that.
And then I could tell after the race on Sunday, I was there doing the interview for the stream for MidwestTour.tv. After the race, I could tell he was like, I just couldn't catch him. I could not catch RJ. Maybe I taught him too much is what the expression I saw on his face was. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we had 2 different strategies. He let me by early.
Jim, we got him.
Trying to save his tires. I was just pushing hard the whole race. So luckily we got to hold him off. I know he wanted to win, and so did I. So it was a cool 1-2 finish for the team.
We have the driver we're talking about as the man who works right with RJ in every possible way and also has a lot going on in terms of helping his brother now with the modified at Beaver Dam Raceway tonight. Steve Apel, can you hear us now?
Yep, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Did you hear RJ talk nice about you?
Yeah, I did. Thanks, RJ.
It's got to be fun knowing you guys can compete at that high level with that kind of competition just about anywhere you guys race. What does that take, Steve, to have RJ in line and then your stuff ready to go for 2023?
Yeah, as you're probably aware, it's a lot of work in the shop during the week. Everybody on the teams have full-time jobs. So to do this and to be able to compete at a high level is a testament to the team that's behind us and the guys that sacrifice a lot of time away from their families and work on the race cars. So I've come to the conclusion that maybe I've shown to RJ too much too soon, but all in good faith that we can win races together and have a lot of fun. That's what it's all about. Always about is enjoying time with the family and be able to go to the racetrack and enjoy the day and hopefully come up on top.
And Steve, you're doing just that tonight. Is it still enjoyable being your brother's crew member when he starts running this modified? Because he was certainly pretty fun and fast in that Legends car you had in your shop last year. He's made a move.
Yeah,
how's it going?
That's kind of the trade-off that we have. My brother's been helping me for a long time, and in the shop with RJ and I and my dad and all the crew guys. And when it's time for him to go racing, it's my turn to be the crew and come along and turn some wrenches and have some fun. I got the 2 boys here with me today, a couple crew guys, and beautiful Tuesday night at Beaver Dam.
Well, we wish you well doing that, Steve. I want to switch gears now to this past Sunday. You guys prepared to go against another stiff roster of competition, not at your home track at Slinger, but at Madison International Speedway. Steve, you've raced there before, but I don't know how many times. And you guys decide, you know what, we're going to go to the ASA Stars National Tour race. They got some good guys coming. I think we're ready to go. And you guys both made the show, Steve. How was that feeling and the work put in this past weekend for you?
For our team, it's the goal was to get in the show and to have a strong round. And I know we didn't have the finish that we wanted to, but we both had our challenges, and we really use that race as a prep for the Slinger Nationals. So the Slinger Nationals this year are going to be a Stars Tour race, and just understanding how things are run and how the program is set will help us for the Slinger Nationals, I think. So that's the one that's on our calendar. That's starred and highlighted and circled 10 times, and that's our goal. So we'll do everything we can up until that point to prep ourselves and try things. And I think at the first Slinger race for the Midwest Tour we had two different strategies, and RJ was trying some stuff, and I was trying some stuff, and you'd think that the setups would be pretty close, and it's far from the truth. They're pretty far apart, to be honest. But it's good. It shows that RJ gives good feedback, and can tell me what the car is doing, and we can talk about things, and that's really helped, I think, both of our programs, because I didn't race as much as I wanted to last year, but I knew when RJ went to the track without me that the guys would take care of him, and anything that we tried, I trusted that his feedback would be valuable to the entire program.
Talk with Steve Apel on the phone, busy as a crew member, snuck away into the hauler for a few minutes at the dirt track, and RJ Braun sitting next to me. And RJ, as far as the work goes, you knew Slinger Speedway. You knew what gear you wanted. Steve you guys talked about the different setups. What did you guys work through this past weekend to not only qualify, as 10 cars went home at Madison, including Stephen Nassy? What did you guys work through this past weekend, RJ, to get your car in the show on time and then go race in the race?
Well, we didn't really make it on time. We got provisional, but I struggled most of the practice. I think it was just getting used to the track. I've never raced there in a super light, so that was new. Four-barrel made it a struggle, but I think the car was good. The driver wasn't capable of doing what he needed to do. So,
well, let's get happier thoughts here. Steve Apel, you got to lead a bunch of the middle portion of that race. Whether it be strategy or not, it was great to see out front, and you kept it there. You made some of those guys, I think, burn some of their equipment up. I don't know what your agenda was, but I could see other guys going, man, Apel, who is this guy leading the race? I was very impressed with what you were able to put together to not only be in contention but lead those laps. Steve, how did that feel, and how did that play out for you? I know you didn't get the finish you wanted, 13th, but in reality, I was impressed. How about you and your assessment?
Yeah, overall, our goal was to be competitive, and I think we did that. Our strategy changed from what we talked about as a team before the race. Just going into it and knowing tires were a big part of it. The first 75 laps, our stagger grew and the car got extremely free, and we slid back a ways from where we started, and then it was just manage the tires and try to get to that first break at 75. And at that break at 75, it was make some adjustments on the car and put tires on it, fill the thing up as full as we can get it, and try to ride around and wait for the next caution and wait for everybody else to come in and put tires on and get the track position, and then try to hang on. And it worked out well. We knew that it would be a sit and duck, being out front with, I think it was 70 to go or 65 to go when that caution came out. We were hoping to make it to 150 before the caution came, but we were out front. We were second at that time. Gabe Summers stayed out as well.
Yep.
I know he still had tires in the pits. So we were, at that point, it was go time and see what we had. And we got the lead. We led a handful of laps, and then caution came out, got the lead again, and then caution came out again shortly after that. So it didn't really work out in our favor. It could have. There was the threat of rain, and we were watching that. And, we thought maybe a miracle would happen and it'd start downpouring, and we'd sneak one away. But overall, still a fun day. Both cars loaded in the chiller in one piece, and just a testament to the drivers and the teams that are in the Stars Tour that nobody went off on a hook. There's obviously mechanical problems for some guys, but overall, a very clean race. I thought it was a well-run race. Pit stop strategy can come into play, and I think it will in some of these races. So just a big learning curve for our team. We don't do a lot of these big races. A lot of them are too far away or are too expensive, but when they are in your backyard, you want to go show that you can compete with these guys. And I always tell myself, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and this RS Tour definitely has that.
The agenda is set. You guys got notes for the Slinger Nationals. You also got a chance to test both of your cars, Steve, when it came to the Miracle on the High Banks tune-up. You had the red car you raced with, but you also practiced the black car at Slinger. You raced that car at Madison. Is that car got a driver's name above the door yet? Do we need to go out there and campaign for a really decent piece for someone to come in and work as your teammate for the Slinger Nationals?
It's still in the works. There's a lot of moving components when it comes to trying to get things put together for a race like that. It's still very possible that we'll have two cars there. I know that the black car when I tested it, is just as good as the red car, so that made me feel pretty good that both cars can back it up. And I don't know. I thought about maybe taking the black car to Slinger one of these nights, but we'll see what races we pick up here. We may do a Madison Alive for 5 race in between here in the Nationals. So just trying to be fluent with the schedule. We got a lot going on between my brother. My kids are starting to both do the go-kart race and stuff. And I think RJ's going to do some of the red, white, and blue. So we'll have a busy summer. But taking each race at a time and just enjoying it with the kids and the family and the crew guys. Trying to keep a smile on our face because this is what we love to do. And we're just excited to be at the racetrack.
Steve, I know you got busy. Your brother's probably looking through the window of that vehicle right now and saying, come on, we got to fix this car. We got to make some changes. So we'll let you get back to it. How about I stand for Steve Apel joining us on the call? Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, guys.
Wish you well tonight. RJ, we're stuck with us for a few more minutes. He mentioned a lot about getting prepared, getting ready, getting focused. You focused a lot last year on winning the Slinger Slinger Championship, You had fast cars, fast every night. What is the approach now? What have you added to your calendar? Steve mentioned some things he's eyeing. What's on RJ Braun's calendar?
Yeah, we're going to race a couple Kakana races, and we're just going to travel around, race Dixieland, go back to Madison at the end of the year for the ASA race. Just kind of travel around, get more experience, and add to our program. So,
how as you a driver have to prepare for that? Steve's got 2 cars, but I'm sure you want to get dialed in for Slinger. Is that your priority? I would say this year, backing up those Elite 8 races.
Yeah, definitely. We want to be good there every week and race for that Nationals win. I'm sure we'll be up there with Steve racing against him. It'll be exciting.
And I also want to mention that while your dad, I think I saw a picture of him at the Kentucky Derby on Saturday.
Yep.
He let the keys to that race car to you guys to help Jordan DeVoy get it ready, and he had his guys helping him, and he made the show at the Joe Cheer Classic for the first time in a Super Late. How much fun was that knowing that was in the works, whether you had a direct hand or you kind of had a Braun Racing teammate with you there?
Yeah, it was a funny story. I was going to race that car there, but after we won at Slinger, I was told that I can't race it.
Oh, no.
So it was because my dad didn't think it was capable of being good at Madison and having it drive, but Jordan proved it was pretty good. He made the show. He beat me, so
he made it on time. Yeah. The 20th car on time. First time I ever drove a Super Late with a 4-barrel. How different was that for you?
I've raced down at New Smyrna with a 4-barrel. I kind of got used to it, but it definitely carries a lot of momentum into the corners. You got to use a lot of brake, which we had a brake failure during the race, and then unfortunately we had to stop. So it definitely abuses brakes and your tire. You got to manage your tires well. You
were here. The car's in one piece. Good choice.
Yep.
RJ, who supports you guys this year?
Yeah, I got to thank Morris, especially Derek. He's been helping me throughout my whole racing career. Petey Paterka, Hog Alley, Okuma, Tsugami, Bella Kane. They're an awesome band. Yeah, you guys should go check them out. I got to thank everybody. Welder Supply, KKD. Yeah, they all support us and helped us make it possible. So, yep.
Crew people, family, friends.
Yeah, my mom and dad, my whole crew, Kian, Brenda, Allie, Mike, Uncle Rick. He's my spotter. Billy. They all help us get prepared and help me at the track, and we got a lot of learning to do still, but we will manage.
And you can't just worry about yourself. You mentioned Billy. He's got a race car at Slinger too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
So you got to work on that when you get a chance.
Yeah. I put a body on there for him, so he already hit the wall with it. Kind of disappointing, but
well, then he can help fix it, right?
Yeah,
your little brother's got to learn something, right?
Yeah, I know. He's learning. He's doing good. I think he's better than me as a driver. So
oh boy,
we just gotta pay attention to him and work on his setup, and I think he'll be up there running.
We'll look forward to it. How about saying for RJ Braun for joining us here? Congrats on the big win again, and great to see you racing Sunday as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
He'll be racing at the Slinger Super Speedway, all the Elite 8 Super Elites. He talked about some Kaukauna races, talked about the Howie Lotto Classic coming up in Madison International Speedway. That's on Friday night, August 25th. That's not too far away if you think about it. As summer rolls on here, we got a lot of things cooking. And a driver that's joining us next won the most recent sprint car race in Wisconsin, the Wilmot 410 series started up this past Saturday. And he's eyeballing what's coming up this Saturday. We're talking to the 10-time bumper-to-bumper IRA Sprint Car Series champ, current high-limit Sprint Car Series full-timer, Bill Baylog, next on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Hey, gang, thanks again for coming down on a powerhouse night. We had RJ Braun, we have Steve Apel on the program. They're the top when it comes to super lates in the area. We got Wisconsin's drivers that are really doing well. We have a driver from Illinois joining us, making his NHRA debut for 2023. And Joliet is his home track. TJ Zizzo's in the house. Come on down and join the racing crowd. Lots to discover and talk to you about. And we could not do the show without our great sponsors on the program. We want to thank Matt Rapina and Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. If you want to buy a home or commercial property or list it or buy one, he can figure it out with you. You needed to get involved with Matt. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor like Matt that has knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. You want to hire knowledge. The website to go to for Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty, is mattrapina.com. mattrapina.com. I had a big introduction plan, but you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait any longer. We got the man who's got the Sweet 17B ride going right down the racetrack in the Victory Lane this past weekend. Let's welcome in the driver that Anderson's Maple Syrup sponsored number 17B Wing Sprint Car for the High Limit Sprint Car Series and winner this past Saturday at Wilmot, Bill Baylog. Billy, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Okay, that was kind of a longer introduction, but I'm excited to see you. How's it been going?
Very good. Yeah, it's been an interesting start to the season, and we're doing pretty good and trying to have a good time.
You made a difference in my life because I love Anderson syrup, but now I see there's a Bill Baylog label on a beautiful little jug that supports your racing, gives a little story. That's kind of cool. Did you have anything to do with this?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, other people did that, Mike, and I gotta thank everybody for working on that project so long, and it's pretty cool. We got it for sale, and we're trying to get it in some stores and stuff.
So when you go to the racetrack, I know the Pure Fuel samples, the little 2-ounce pouches or 1.5 ounces, whatever they are, they're handy to have.
Yes.
These are going to be sold out of your hauler or at the stores? Where can we find them?
We have them online. We have them at the T-shirt trailer at the races, and hopefully some stores here soon.
So when it comes to racing, last year we know you committed to running the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Car Series. You ran as many races away from them as you could and afford to do out of a shop here in Wisconsin. And then in the off-season, you guys kind of made some changes. What went through the process of now chasing high-limit sprint car series and being an outlaw again, chasing where you want to race?
Well, I think we were going to kind of roll back a little bit, scale things back a little bit, just based on sponsorship dollars and inflation and all that kind of stuff. So that didn't totally work out, but we've already probably traveled a little more than we should and stuff. But we're just partnered up with Gibbsville Cheese and Ozzie and Fran, and we've moved the couple cars over to their shop, and it's been kind of nice. I've got a little bit of pressure off of me with the engines not being, I don't own them. I just stomp on the gas pedal, and I don't even have to look at them. So it's really nice. It's been an interesting year. We've got just as many races planned now than as we did last year, but. We'll just see how it goes. It's been, we've had a couple little hiccups here and there, but so far I'm pretty happy with our speed.
Hanging out with Bill Baylog, 10-time champion of the bumper-to-bumper IRA Sprint Car Series. They're racing this Saturday at Wilmot Raceway with the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions. That's a big show. And this past Saturday, you bagged the big check for winning the big 410 Sprint Car race at Wilmot. How is that going to help you coming this Saturday?
I mean, that was kind of the whole idea, was go to Jacksonville, go to Wilmot, because the All-Stars are going to be there the following week, and they just happen to have 2 shows at each one of those places. So we took the chance and went there, and we actually crashed the car at Jacksonville, so that didn't really work out for us. But we got some laps there, and that's really beneficial. Any little advantage you can get or any little hint of anything is so important, especially with the All-Stars coming in and the competition level. It's just you want to go there if you can and try to get some laps in. But it worked out really good at Wilmot. We were fast. We made the right adjustments. We were able to pass cars. It was just it was a really good night. We had just some momentum. We just needed some type of momentum, and it wasn't a humongous win for us, but it was a win, and it was everyone was really happy.
I know Wilmot Raceway is a track you know very well, but in reality, it's going to be new each and every time. And with this new situation with the Gibbsville Cheese really getting involved, they have a long history in sprint car racing.
Yes.
What did you do or feel differently this time around, just for this past Saturday as a tune-up that turned out to be a win?
Well, we're on a completely different set of rear tires this year for all-star races and outlaw races, so they're a lot different. And I like the old way.
Okay, all right.
It's just hard to get a hold of that stuff sometimes. I mean, I think maybe some of the younger guys with less experience, they could probably catch on to it a little bit quicker. But we're using our experience and doing what we have to do to make those tires work. So to get on them and go to those 2 tracks, it's a lot harder to drive the car, I feel like, and that's kind of the biggest thing. Wilmot also, last year they put new clay on it, I think, so we wanted to get on that on the new tire. We definitely are onto something, I think.
So when it comes to the new tire, it's not a matter of availability. Hoosier just saying these are the only ones you get, and they're brand new. You haven't raced on them before 2023.
Yeah, they're a completely redesigned. Each side is different. So the way the sprint car is, any little, any little thing you do to it makes a huge adjustment. So these tires are a lot different, and there's not very many people that are going to help you figure it out. You just got to do it yourself. So. It's like I said, I think we're on to what we need to do, and with the help of Ozzy and Dennis, I think we can get her figured out.
You brought some folks with you here tonight. We want to make sure we'll recognize who's here with you supporting you on a rare night off on this Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah, we got lots of friends. Mike's here. Jim, Miss Sander didn't show up, but Greg and Kelsey and John are here, so thank you guys for coming out.
And you got some fans, I think, that came early to maybe get an autograph or two when it comes to just hanging out with Bill Balog away from the racetrack, because you're a busy guy at the track. You're still extremely involved in the setup of the car. How many people go with you to one race, every race, when you get to this kind of schedule?
Every single race is just me and Ozzy and Dennis, and that's a good group of people to have with you. And then Fran goes once in a while.
And that's about the right number, right? There's not many guys that have more guys traveling than 3 or 4, right?
Right. With the sprint car team, there is a huge team effort, but you don't want to have too many people around. It gets confusing. So, and I'm not that smart, so I gotta keep it simple. But the 3 number kind of works good for at the racetrack. More people outside of that. Susan went with us last week. She did a great job for us. So, it seems to be the way that's going.
Did you get a chance to bring the boys, Dylan and Cole, with you anywhere lately?
Not yet. Yeah, they've been busy, and we've been busy with the car and stuff. So, but they'll probably start racing here soon. They got rained out yesterday, but Beaver Dam, we're going to get them over there. Dylan's got one more year with the junior sprint, so we're trying to get a few nights with the Zimmermans, who always helped out Dylan and Cole a whole bunch. So get him in a micro a little bit, maybe.
So when you're not traveling, what's the setup now? You've got support we just talked about, but when it comes to the preparation of the car, the decisions made, the phone calls to make sure you get the parts in time for the races you have upcoming. What's your role in all that?
Yeah, so I ordered a bunch of parts today. Fixed a couple broken axles that we tore up, and then Ozzy and Dennis were at the shop up in Plymouth, and they were doing, working on both cars that were needed maintenance and washed and all that kind of stuff. And I was up there yesterday and helped them. So it's just really a joint thing, and we're honestly trying to figure all that out still, but. There has been some burden off of me on some of that, so it's been super cool.
High Limit Sprint Car Racing Series is a new series for 2023. Had a little interest last year, $20,000, $23, or $22,000, $22, or whatever it was last year. Big purses, big car count. I think 56 cars showed for the first one. You're committed to running with these cars, and these are stars from everywhere, man. It's got to be tough.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the competition is unbelievable. I can't explain it. And it's kind of showing. The first night we didn't do very good. The next race we went to, we had some good speed, and we ended up DNFing. We had a brake line break off or something. But it's going to be an interesting next 9 Tuesday nights or whatever it is with the High Limit Series, because it's like the Knoxville Nationals at a little bull ring in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty
every
cool.
week.
Every week, yeah, it's cool.
It's cool, but man, it's got to be a lot of stress.
It is.
You want to leave there on Monday? You want to get there Monday just to have everything laid out? I mean, is it? Because you don't have much time to do a whole lot on Tuesdays, right? It's race day. There's 55 cars or whatever it is.
Yeah, but the race is only 8 minutes long. So.
You got to get right for those 8 minutes, man. One spot in, one spot out.
Yeah, qualifying.
Transfer through the heat race.
Yeah, the qualifying is everything, and that sets up your whole deal. So we're just focusing on that really.
With a new tire that you're still getting acclimated to.
Yes. Yeah.
And you don't have too many guys you can call and say, hey, Brad Sweet, yeah, it's Bill. What can you do about pressures at the right rear at this track?
No, he wouldn't answer.
Oh, okay, all right.
But
just checking.
There's a few people. I mean, I do have a few friends that race, and you can kind of bounce stuff off of them. So, yeah, it's nice.
When it comes to the sport you get, I know on social media it's a big deal to recognize people that are involved. I think I just saw recently you got a guy, a drummer from a pretty famous band hanging out, holding your jug. I mean, this is kind of cool. You're getting like this national platform now.
Yeah, it's been, everybody helping out and supporting us. It's just been awesome, especially these last few years with Anderson's. It's really just brought us up a little bit higher, and yeah, it's been neat seeing the direction of the team, and we're just not making huge mistakes or anything, and people seem to like the way our team is run.
And I like the fact that you do it the right way. You do it the way you want to do it. It takes a lot of time and effort. So if someone's to go on your website and buy a T-shirt and a hat, who puts that in the envelope and mails it?
I do, yeah. And Natalie Klemko does a lot of the social media, so she's ordering hats, figuring out designs, doing all this kind of stuff, and I got to thank her for that. That's a huge job, and the social media side of it is very difficult. So, yeah, she just really is good at that kind of stuff. And yeah, but I put it in the box and mail it out and sign it or whatever I got to do, and hopefully you get the right stuff.
Are the boys sitting next to you? It's like, kids, we're going to eat dinner, and then as soon as you're done with that last bowl of spaghetti, we're going to Stampin'.
Yep, and get to the post office.
Where can we find you on social? Have you designed any new platforms? BillBaylog.com, B2 Motorsports,
BillBaylog.com, and then Bill Baylog Racing on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So, yeah, that's where everything is.
It's amazing to know you've got a Tuesday night off and you're spending it with us. Your friends showed up. We're here supporting you as well. You talked about the same amount of numbers. I just curious. Yeah, you have a number of how many on the schedule yet, or you just keep adding as the months come on? Because we're right in the swing of it now.
Yeah, I think we have schedule-wise, 70 shows, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're trying to keep it up there. We haven't posted a full schedule because, I like to go to the races I say I'm going to go to, and if something were to happen, we just going to kind of pick and choose a little bit. But we have the schedule all put together, so we're trying to stay a little bit closer to home. But so far, we've been to Florida and Mississippi and kind of all over the place. So,
High Limit Sprint Car Series. Where we find Bill the next 9 Tuesday nights, you said?
I think it's the next 9, but there is 9 shows left.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, High Limit. Yep. So we're going to be at all those, and then try to maybe hit whatever's on Thursday, Friday, Saturday around in that area, or try to boogie back home and race around here.
North Pole Nightmare, Alaskan Assassin. I'm going to say Wisconsin Outlaw, because you're truly an outlaw on your schedule, because you're going to go where you want to go, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, Natalie, I made you another T-shirt design you got to worry about. No, I'm just kidding. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you. I appreciate you taking the time tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to say for Bill Baylog joining us with his friends here tonight. We've got these jugs. Can we have you sign these in syrup and give these away? Is
absolutely.
That okay? All right, we're going to give these away after the show as well. Thank you, Bill. Make sure you sign our Bob Trado Sign Rider backdrop as well. Bill Baylog joining us on the program. Next up, we're going straight line racing at about 330 miles an hour, give or take. We're going drag racing with TJ Zizzo next on the show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club Points Racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Just gabbing away here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. I'm getting a look from Dave Schmelzer and Matt Rapino like, Jim, the show is on. Go, say something. We're having too much fun here tonight on a Tuesday at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Special thanks again to Jim Wirtz with J2 Woodworking for the beautiful stand that we're going to figure out a way where if you want one like it for your rec room, whatever, man, he's here tonight. Talk to Jim Wirtz with J2 Woodworking about how cool he can make your rec room, your living room, your cabinets at home to make them really special. We also want to remind you that you can turn your recyclable metals into cash right now today at Allied Resource Recovery. They have 3 locations, one in West Dallas at 80th and Burnham, one in Waukesha on Tesh Court, and you can also cash in at National Salvage on South 44th Street across from where the Milwaukee Brewers are playing right now. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com. We have drag racing tonight to talk about, but I do want to send along a very special hello, and our thoughts are with them tonight. Bracket racer, our friend John DiPiazza. His father passed away 1 year ago this week, and he's spending family time tonight with his mom, Mary, and their family. So we want to say we're thinking about you guys and the DiPiazza family, and we're talking drag racing tonight. And I know Johnny wanted to be here, but it makes sense to be with family tonight as we welcome in another family drag racer. Let's go to the program. The man that can drive that thing at 3.333 seconds at 335,000 miles an hour, TJ Zizzo. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it, and I appreciate being here.
Was I close on my estimate? 3.33 seconds, 3,000 miles an hour?
You know what, Jim, you were close enough, man. I got to tell you, you're always on your stats.
Well, I made that one up. But you got your work ahead of you. May 19, 2021, home track race. Top Fuel at NHRA for perhaps the final time. Don't know. Route 66 Raceway. You're getting geared up. Thanks for spending time with us in the meantime.
You're very, very welcome. You know, it's a pleasure being here. It always is. We are gearing up for our event. And keep in mind, I have not competed for 19 months.
Whoa.
Long time.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I wasn't wearing glasses the last time you saw me. I'm getting older, Jim. I'm certainly getting older.
I thought it was just to be more distinguished or something.
I don't need that. You know that.
Have you worn them in the helmet yet?
I will not wear them in the helmet.
Okay.
Actually, we went testing about 2 weeks ago. It was a frigid 50 degrees out at IRP, and we went testing there. And I did think about wearing my glasses, but they are only for reading. Okay. And as I get older, of course, looking at my computer screen most of the day, I needed them. But I tried them in the car, and I was really worried about them fogging up and being uncomfortable. So, hey, if I don't have good reaction times, I at least have an excuse, you know?
But those little things, I mean, everything has to be perfect. You got to have the right mindset, number one, mentally, as we've talked about before on the show. But that is a change for you, wearing glasses. Maybe there's something new with your fire suit there. Maybe there's a seam that always gets you under the belts right here. You got to fix that stuff when you get some reps going.
Well, let's not talk about the brand new car we just built. You want to talk about something new.
I do.
I mean, it is new and it's exciting, but it was so odd when I climbed in that thing. You know, we had fitted me for the car, right? But just when that car started and I let my foot off the clutch to just roll through the water box to do my burnout, I was like, man, there are so many different sights and sounds. That race car, it's still a top fuel dragster. It's still 300 inches long. It still makes 12,000 horsepower, but it is completely different. So, you know, having this new car is certainly something I'm going to have to get used to, and I'm going to have to get used to it in 3.333 seconds, right, Jim?
Yeah.
So, it's exciting for our team to make that financial leap. Let me tell you, building a car, you know, we could all talk about inflation, right? But ordering parts, you know, from Mali, we usually order just bearings alone. We usually order like $10,000 worth of bearings, engine bearings, right, for our 3 races we go to. I got the bill, and it was $13,000. I just got it this morning, and I was like, holy smokes. You know, building this car should have cost us somewhere around $150,000 to $200,000. And I don't even want to know what it costs, quite honestly. It's definitely escalated to $300,000. And, you know, these are things we can't afford. You know, I'm not wealthy. We own a successful body shop, but I'm not wealthy. Thank God we have Rust-Oleum to still pay our bills. Thank God. You know, it was kind of funny. Coming to your show, you know, I go home, I change real quickly because, of course, I was working all day. I was working on our head gasket inventory of 300 head gaskets, right, trying to get things organized a little bit better. And I get home, and I'm like, shoot. I almost swore. I said, shoot, I don't have any Rust-Oleum gear whatsoever at home, you know? And I'm like, God, I am out of sync on a lot of things. And but thank God we have great marketing partners that take care of all that stuff for us. Almost, right? I think my dad and I, we still have plenty of mortgages on things to continue to compete at such a high level. It's a challenge. It is absolutely a challenge.
New car was in development and thought last year, getting things rolling. You guys have not stepped away from the pulse of drag racing whatsoever. What made you decide to say, okay, we've talked to guys, we've analyzed, we've seen what they're doing. Did you make your own? Did you work with a chassis guy that's the top right now? Take us through that process, because you've had the time, but in reality, you had to perform when it's time to say, that's the one we want.
You know, thankfully, as a volunteer team, all of our team members are volunteer, right? We do this because we love it. Like currently, right now, they are working at the shop. That's the reason my dad isn't here right now, right? He would have loved to have been here, but he's corralling all the troops at the shop, right? How could I explain this? We're all very competitive. Our entire team is very competitive. I wouldn't drive a race car. I wouldn't own a business if I wasn't competitive. Sitting here, I want to be the best in the room, right? So what happens is 2021, we competed at a few events, and we absolutely sucked. You know, barely qualifying, not doing as well as I would like, and our entire team would like.
Hang on, you qualified top 16, you qualified top half, and a part-time schedule. When you roll in, you're ready, but it wasn't good enough, apparently.
It's not. I'm getting older. Our entire team members are getting older. Some of our team members have worked for us for 3 decades. Can you picture 3 decades of working for a bunch of crazy Italians? You know? So it's just the idea of we're all getting older. We're all getting wiser. We all have a lot of knowledge. But we felt like any time we really pushed our car to run better, to compete with the best of the best, it smoked the tires.
Gotcha.
So we're debating, is it us? Or is it the car? You know, I hear all these sprint car guys and all these, you know, guys and girls that go in circles talk about their car setup, right? Well, I've had the same car for 15 years. You know, we don't bump into each other. So, you know, it just got to the point where in 2021, we barely qualified. We got beat by Brittany Force, and I was disgusted. And our entire team was like, God, what are we going to do next? So we talked about it briefly at the end of that event before I drove the semi home. We talked about possibly building a new car. Well, we are liked out there, Jim. I know it can't be my personality, but our competitors like us. our competitors like us because we are all volunteer, but we come out, and if they see our name on the list, they know we're there, right? We're not there to drink beer. We're there to really do a good job, right?
Yep.
Although I would love a Miller Lite right now, I'll tell you. But anyway, it's like just the idea of what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? I got a phone call from Don Schumacher. I think most of the people in this room know who Don Schumacher is, even if you're not into drag racing, right? He called me on a Monday morning after I pulled the semi in and I was washing it outside our shop. And he goes, hey, TJ, I really want to help you guys out. And I said, yeah, I know, Don. We've been friends for a long time. We could do this on our own. I could do this on my own. Our team is very knowledgeable. We're going to continue to do this. He goes, no, I want to build you a car.
Whoa. So
this is a gentleman who fabricates race cars, complete operations. At one time, I think he had 11 drag racing teams at one time. And he's friends of mine. He lives in a neighborhood, per se, right? I've been friendly with his son, Tony, but I've been really good friends with Don for a long time. He always offers, but I never accept because I got too much pride, right? You know, we want to do the best we can as Zizzo Racing. And I talked to my son, my 16-year-old son, which has been on your show. I can't believe he's 16 now. And he goes, Dad, why don't you just try it out? Why don't you just take someone's experience and use it and try to build a new race car? So needless to say, that's exactly what happened. So I talked to my dad about it. I talked to our team about it. Don Schumacher offered to build us a car. The original plan was to completely build us a car. Brand new, roll it into our shop. Well, all our guys are really smart guys and girls on our race team. I'm not the smart one. I can guarantee you that. And when we rolled it out, when we rolled that option out to our guys, they're like, no, because if something goes wrong, and we won't be able to figure it out because we didn't have our hands on it. I said, valid point, guys, valid point. So we went to Don Schumacher's shop. We just started picking parts and pieces out of his inventory, right? Yeah. And some of that stuff was going to Tony Stewart Racing. I know people know him here. Some of that stuff was going to Tony Stewart Racing because he started his own drag racing team at the same time. So other things were trickling to us. So it took us 19 months to put this race car together. But we did it all ourselves. So we went out to test it 2 weeks ago. And honestly, Jim, you know, I love my dad to death, but I'm still fearful of that man. I'm still fearful of my dad every day. And although I work with him 20 hours a day. And we're putting this race car together, and he's getting a little older, and we have a bunch of really great people on our team, and we have different ideas. All of us have different ideas. My dad's old school. He wants this thing done. He wants it finished. Let's get it done. Let's go to the racetrack. It took us a long time, and he was disgusted by us doing this, right? Like, he walked away from it at times. And our crew chief would be like, oh, my God, what are we doing here? So anyway, to make a long story short, driving the semi to our test session, right? I'm cruising down the road, and I'm thinking to myself, God, if this car doesn't perform, my dad is going to kick my ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
your number one worry.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy cow. So we get to the test session. It's too cold to race our car. So we had to postpone until Wednesday. At this point, we have the whole track to ourselves. It's amazing. We're the only car on the premises, you know. I'm like, man, this is the most inexpensive private test session in the history of NHRA. It's just us because all our competitors were going to Charlotte.
Gotcha.
So we roll this thing out. You know, we're still working on it diligently because we're really not as prepared as we want to be. We always want to be prepared. Every racer here wants to be as prepared as they can to go to an event, even if it's a test session. So we roll this car out. I let the clutch pedal out, all sights and sounds. I do a burnout, and it reminds me of why I do this, right? I do this because it is exciting. There's a lot of work into it. Everyone here with a race car knows how much work it is. I don't have to explain that to them. So I hit the gas, back up, stage the car, stomp on the gas. It is straight. It is true. It is fast. I don't want to take my foot off the gas, but I was told to go to 400 feet and let off. I didn't think it was going to make it to 400 feet. Quite honestly, I was happy if it was going to make it to 40 feet. And I come back, and, you know, the team is excited. You know, we're trying to get things prepped to make another pass. Our goal was 4 passes that day. And I go into the semi to get my laptop out of it, and a tear rolled down my cheek. And I wondered why. You know, why in the world am I at 47 years old, and I've been doing this for 30-some-odd years, why am I choked up in our hauler right now? And it's because we all work really hard. 12 team members plus work really hard on this race car to compete at the highest level in drag racing. And sometimes it gets the best of you. You know, either you're frustrated or you're aggravated or you're mad or you're anxious or whatever it is. I could use any adjective I could think of. But you go there and the car does exactly what you wanted it to do. It did it exactly. Like, it couldn't have been freaking better.
Yeah.
And then you bring it out the next pass and it smokes the tires at the hit. So you're like, well, shoot, was it just beginner's luck or what was that? So all this was through Don Schumacher, you know, to get us to this point. So we go out there to make another lap, and we're exhausted. We haven't done this for 19 months. You know, our entire team member, once again, we're getting older. And it's a lot of work between rounds. I mean, this is a thrash to get this car turned around to make another pass. And, you know, I had my sights on, okay, will this car make it past 400 feet? And if it does, I want to take it to 700 feet. So here I am. I leave the starting line. The thing is hauling ass. Can I swear on your show?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I wanted to make sure. And it's
Phil
just...
Bailog already set the tone for that.
He's good at it, though. He looks better at swearing than I do.
He did not swear. I did. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Are you kidding? When you're sponsored by Anderson's, I got to tell you, my kid, we go to... is it Mariano's in my neighborhood? It's Mariano's, which is Kroger.
Yep. That's like our pick and save. Yep.
This is the only thing we buy.
Right.
This is it. It's pretty amazing. All because of your show and seeing it here.
You bought the best syrup there is.
It's badass.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we? Okay, so I stand on the gas. The thing is accelerating hard. It's pulling hard. I feel myself just sucked to the seat. I can't move. I'm just like, wow. And I see half track. It's not really half track anymore. I see 660 feet, right? And I'm approaching it really fast. Things are starting to get really blurry. Remember, I haven't driven a race car that far or that long for a while. And it's starting to vibrate a lot, but it's still hauling. And I'm like, holy shit. You know, and here comes 660 feet. And at this point, I turn my attention 1,000 feet. I'm like, F it, TJ. Take it to the finish line. This thing is awesome. And I'm kicking ass, and the thing's hauling. And next thing you know, boom, it shuts off. And I'm like, shit, did this thing just throw the rods out of it? But it was too quiet. It was like peace. It was just like, shut off. And I rolled to a stop. And actually, it was a kind of a panic stop because I wasn't sure exactly what happened. Just come to a complete stop. I hop out of the car. I check the engine's not smoldering. There's no fire. It just didn't blow the rods out of it. The head still looked good. It didn't. You know, what's going on here? And I'm thinking pan pressure. We have so many sensors on these cars now to shut them off. You know, I'm like, God damn, what happened? My dad rolls around, and they're all honking the horn excited and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? The car just shut off. My dad's like, I don't know. My dad's not really up on technology, right? So he goes, I don't know. I'm like, okay. So I cut.
So he did not have a button to push the like.
Well, bingo. So we have
enough, son. Think.
So we have new technology on the car where at that point in the racetrack, they used to never be able to shut me off. I was on my own.
I was kidding. They could do that?
Well, they can do that.
Didn't know that.
They could do this. So our old radio set, you know, however that's all set up, right? Our old radio frequency, it would only go to like 400 or 500 feet, and then I was on my own, man. I didn't care what was going on. I was on the gas to the finish line, upside down and on fire. I don't care. I got to win, right? So, man, maybe not. I still drive by this. You see how thick this is, Jim? This is my wallet.
It's going to cause some back issues, man.
It's really thick, and you know why? Because it's filled with credit cards. There's no cash. Well, there's very little cash in here. It's filled with credit cards. Like $60,000 balances on this one for all the racing shit we bought. I don't know. I'm nuts. Anyway, so you know, I'm hauling ass, and all of a sudden it shuts off. So then I realize that we go back, and our crew chief shut me off.
He did.
He goes, hey, man, I saw something going on, and I was shutting you off. I'm like, God damn it. At that point, all I wanted to do was take it to the finish line. We looked at our incremental times coming back. They were unflippin' believable. Career best numbers on our third run of the race car.
Wow, that's very comforting for you guys, no doubt.
Ridiculous. And I thought to myself, why didn't we make this change sooner? You know why? Because I'm a stubborn dago. That's why. You know, and I should have taken other people's advice and other people's help and just ran with it years ago, and I didn't, and I fault myself for that. So here we are, new car, performs well, but we could go to our next event, which is in a couple days, right, or about 7 days, and we could fall on our face. That thing could go out there and smoke the tires 3 times, and it would be it is what it is, right? But clear potential. There's a race to 300 miles an hour in 660 feet. Nobody has done it, right? Everyone talked a quarter mile, then they talked 1,000 feet, and we've all gone almost 340 miles an hour to both points.
Yeah.
But now they're talking who will be the first to go 300 miles an hour in the 8th. And people have gotten really close. The best in the business go like 299, 298,
really?
297.
That close?
Yeah, that close. 299 something, right? We went 295, and it was shut off at 600 feet.
Wow.
So
wow.
I'm not saying I'm going to be the first person to do it, but God damn, it would be badass to roll out under Joliet's tower, because I have no points, right?
Yeah.
I have no points. So I'm probably going to be, we will be the first card on the racetrack, more than likely. And it's been since 2019 they had an event there. How kick-ass would that be, Jim? If I stand on the gas, it does exactly what it does, and we are the first one to go 300 miles to 660 feet.
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
So,
But do you feel you have that potential based upon what you always did in that test day?
We now have potential.
Yeah.
We went only 285 miles an hour, maybe 287 tops, I think maybe 288 once, and we already went 295, and I was shut off early. So there's true potential, and it's testament to our team to build our own car in-house. Don Schumacher helped us out, no doubt. He got us parts and pieces and all that stuff. They built the car in-house over there, the chassis. But we took it back, and we assembled it the way we wanted to do it.
Sure.
And we'll see if it all comes to fruition. But how awesome would that be?
Hanging out with TJ Zizzo. I do want to bring up Tony Stewart's name because he was just interviewed by Dale Earnhardt Jr. We know who that guy is. But Tony talked about the first time he made a pass. Don Schumacher invited him, said, hey, take out my top fuel car. And Tony said that was the dumbest thing I ever did. But he also mentioned something that's very poignant because we know he's raced a lot of different cars, and now he's doing top alcohol in almost a full schedule. He said, I went 313. I think he went 313. But he said, my eyes and my body could not catch up to what I was actually trying to process down the racetrack, and it scared the lights out of him. It scared the daylights out of him because there was so much going on. He couldn't process it that fast. How do you stay in tune to do what you do after 30 years, to stay in tune, to go, okay, I know what this thing feels like. I know where it should be in that brief 4 seconds of time where you are in your element. How do you do that?
First of all, it astonishes me that someone like Tony Stewart, which has won at every level, has he? I mean, every level, I think.
Yep.
Anything that he's ever driven,
and top alcohol, he's won that now to a 4-wide he won.
He has.
Or 2-wide, one of the two.
And for him to say that, and understand that, because I think a lot of us, a lot of people who don't understand drag racing think it's simple. You put a pin in the steering wheel, you stand on the gas, right? That's not the case. There's finesse in every motorsport. And for him to say that's spectacular, for me to climb into a race car and be able to focus at that level is a lot of therapy, Jim.
Yeah.
It's a lot of therapy. It's a lot of going to bed and waking up at 2 a.m. dreaming about it. It's a lot of being hyper focused for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, because that's all you're going to get from me is 2 minutes and 20 seconds of focus. I envy all other forms of motorsport which can enjoy the motorsport. They can enjoy it. They can,
find the line, different pickup points, or the track changes so they can adjust to that and just work their magic. Yes.
There's no working magic, in our sport. You have to be there. And you have to be there, else you're going home, which is always the exciting part about our sport. I mean, reaction time. Like, I was working on head gaskets today. I texted our crew chief what I was doing. He goes, hey, thanks a lot for working on the race car. We appreciate that. But can you just sit in the car and work on your reaction time now? It's going to be important to do that. And after not driving for 19 years, I know I'm not going to be at the top of my game, or 19 months.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be at the top of my game. I know that. But I'll adjust, and I'll do the best I can.
When it comes to the race itself, you've been paying close attention to who you're going to be up against. And there's going to be guys like you
Hang
that are
on,
racing
Jim.
full-time.
I'm sorry. I see a really, really great grilled cheese sandwich.
Is that yours?
Oh, my God. It looks delicious.
It's now half of yours.
Who else ate it over there?
Well, we've been up here for a little while now, so I'm not sure.
What were you saying, Jim? I'm sorry.
No, in terms of the competition you're eyeballing what they're doing. You're reading the sheets. Thank goodness NHRA's website is that entailed where it goes through every pass. You can follow the trends. You can see where they might have missed. You can see that we're at the third dot behind the .003 was the difference in a lot of races now in NHRA, no matter the division. And then you find out, okay, was it atmospheric? And I'm sure you're on the phone talking to these guys. All that comes to fore. So when it comes to top fuel drag racing, that's the top of the top. You want to be performing. When you roll into that racetrack, what do you guys look at? Is it the competition? Is it the visor down? I mean, I don't know how you approach that because you don't do it all the time. But when you're there, you are on time. You're on speed. You make the show, or you're right there. You got 4 chances to qualify in the top 16. But believe me, that I can't imagine the work that goes into that. But what do you guys do first when you get there? Do you look at the competition? Do you analyze who might be there? Like, hey, this guy hasn't won in 3 years. This guy just won the last 3 in a row. That kind of stuff. What do you look at? What do you gauge?
You know what I look at? Where I'm going to park our semi. That's what I look at when I roll through the gate, right? And make sure that baby is as straight as it could be. I want that thing to be the straightest semi in the pit area.
Okay.
But after that, truthfully, I look around my camp. We have a really good race team. I look at our competitors who still help us. The best in the business still continue to help Zizzo Racing because they see something. They see a spark. Ron Tobler, which was married to Shirley Muldowney, which is multi-world champion in Top Fuel and Funny Car, he helps us. Taro Kahara, once again, a champion in himself, helps us. Our team members, Bobby Lagana, Dom Lagana. Bobby Lagana has won like the past, 6 of 8 championships. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit because I am Italian, but, those teams continue to help us. So I just have to be focused. I'm always focused on our pit area. I don't really know what happens out our pit area. Now, I do when I'm at home, when we're working on our race car at the shop. I am on NHRA.tv, and I am seeing almost every pass going on the racetrack.
Gotcha.
So I still have to be hyper-focused on our competition. And I know who the best of the best is, but they also know who TJ Zizzo is, which is pretty badass.
When it comes to this kind of racing, it takes a lot of effort. You mentioned you have 3 races on your schedule this year. Where will they be?
I did under-exaggerate that. We're going to try to go to 5.
All right.
I heard, is his name Bill? Is that
yeah,
the
Bill Bailog, yeah.
I mean, stud, right? I just hear about all the competition and how many times he's won and all this stuff. And then I hear he's going to 70 races.
Yeah.
And I go, 70 races? I'm going to go to 5. So we will go to 5. We will start, of course, at Joliet. Then we'll go to Norwalk, Ohio, near Cleveland. We'll go to Indianapolis, the biggest and baddest of them all. We'll go to St. Louis. And then if all goes well for a party, we're going to go to Vegas in the fall, which ties to SEMA. And Rust-Oleum wants us in their SEMA booth with our race car. And I wonder how you could compete on a Sunday and be at SEMA on a Monday. But we'll figure that out. What's the worst case scenario? Cut our car in half and put it in their booth? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I wouldn't know how to do that.
I don't either.
But these are positioned for your sponsorship, or these racetracks you get to choose? How does that work?
That's a great question. Anytime you have a marketing partner of any kind, they dictate what you do. But once again, I have a wonderful marketing partner that allowed us to sit idle for 19 months, continue to pay their bills, and knowing that we are loyal people that will repay them in races to come, right? So they dictate. Our team members dictate. My wife now dictates. Jim, through marriage counseling, I have learned to listen to my wife. It's fantastic. Like, this is something new. This is 19 months of just saying, hey, Jen, what do you think?
Yeah.
I was always the guy who raced, worked really hard in all of our businesses, and never spent much time at home. Right? I mean, I hear Bill talk about 20-hour days and all these things. And
a lot of effort.
He's gone from 85 races to 70 races, So I have learned now to listen to my wife and ask her questions. She's been married to me for 20-some-odd years. We've been together for almost 30. Like, who the hell puts up with this guy? And now I've learned to ask. And it was the first year ever we sat down in January when we kind of laid out the schedule. I said, Jen, where would you like me to go? What makes sense to you? You're a school teacher. You're busy. throughout the year. And then in the summer, you have this time off, and I'm the busiest. What do you want me to do? And we went through our schedule, and, she helped dictate the schedule, which is super cool. It's something I'm not used to, so I'm getting used to it.
Cool. So the bosses and the sponsors make you go where you want to go.
That's exactly right. And it's a story of my life, but I wouldn't have any other way. I love motorsports. I love all forms of motorsports. I love what I get a chance to do. There's those cold evenings on a Tuesday night. You're working at the shop, and a fan calls or a fan emails me and says, "Hey, man, where you guys been? What are you doing?" And it's those little things that help TJ Zizzo and our small little Zizzo Racing team carry on. It really is.
Cool. Well, we're glad to hear that generations and energy is still there. You're going racing May 19, 2021 at Joliet Route 666 Raceway. That's a beautiful drag strip, and you're going to be thinking about a lot of things between now and then. And we're glad you took some time today, amidst all of the things you have going on, to spend tonight with us. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Jim. It's my pleasure.
How about I say it for TJ Zizzo? TJ, thanks. We wish you the best. We're going to be watching closely on these 5 races, and you can watch this interview anytime you'd like. It was a lot of fun to cover a lot of ground with TJ Zizzo here at Polly's Pub Eatery again tonight. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
We're going to take a commercial break, back with more short track results, and we'll tell you who's coming on the show next week on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundup.show.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Thank you, Dean Strom, the voice of Dean Strom. He'll be in the big chair next week as I'll be off with the ASA Stars National Tour Racing Tuesday night, May 16th at North Wilkesboro Speedway, kicking off All-Star Week there with the ASA Stars National Tour coinciding with the ASA Southern Super Series. That'll be streamed on Flow Racing next Tuesday. I want to thank show sponsors Allied Resource Recovery, Bilko's Bon Voyage, Badger Kart Club, Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin, and Dell's Raceway Park. They are some of the great sponsors you can find on our website that support our show. Support them as well. RacingRoundupShow.com is where you want to find it. Also want to say a special hello and thank you to Kathy Zarneska for being here. Kathy's husband, Dennis, actually started this show with Terry Jeffords and Daryl Dobbs back in 1984-85. We've been carrying on the traditions here since, so it's good to see Kathy up from Florida, spending some time with John Jeffords and his wife, Christine, and Kelly Jeffords is back there. Kelly and John, thank you. That's Terry Jefford's daughter and son. Thank you guys for being here tonight and hanging out with us. They started the show. We just get to keep rolling and talking about it for now 39 years and counting on the Racing Roundup Show. Great to see you guys here spending time together here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We're back here next Tuesday as well. It's time to take a look at the short track scene. This portion of the show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts and E-Bikes in Random Lake. Brad Miller is now an Icon Electric Bicycles dealer. Reach speeds up to 25 miles per hour and up to 25 miles per charge on a pedal bike. BMRE is Wisconsin's only Icon Electric golf cart dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available right now on their Facebook page, BMRE Electric Carts Company. Bonafide Security Solutions brings us your short track report for camera and alarm systems for your home or business. Program card access and gun safes, it's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. Mike Litchfeld returned to Victory Lane Saturday night at the Dells Raceway Park as they open up their season with a return of weekly super late model racing. Fast qualifier Max Kaler and Braden Berg crossed the line second and third in the feature. Logan Delaney and Sportsman, Jacob Teagan and Legends, and the ageless Pete Moore won the 602 Outlaw late model race Saturday night as they were in Victory Lane for the first time in the fans area at Dells Raceway Park. This Saturday night features the Thirsty Beaver Sports Bar 50 for pro late models, Triple Crown Round 1, plus 4 other divisions. Buy tickets in advance and save at DellsRacewayPark.com. CKContractorsLLC.com brings us the happenings at Wilmot Raceway. They got their first night of in this past Saturday night. You want to hire the pros at CK Contractors for lot grading, excavation, Lake Michigan shore restoration, retention pond building, and more. Saturday night season opener did not disappoint. Bill Balog went on to win the 410 Wing Sprint Car feature. He's getting ready for this coming Saturday. Other winners on Saturday night this past weekend in a drag race to the checkers, Clayton Rossman edged Jimmy Sivia. He's our guest next week on the show, so we're going to see Jimmy and his family joining us here at Polly's. They ran 1-2 in the CK Contractors Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints powered by Gandrud feature. Friends of the show, Joel Crowbridge ended his 5-year Wilmot winless streak by a victory trip in the modifieds. This Saturday night, May 13th at Wilmot Raceway, Tony Stewart's Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions joins Steve Sinclair's led bumper-to-bumper IR Outlaw Sprint Series competition. Wingless Sprints and Bandits will also compete. Get their early grandstands gates open this Saturday at 4 p.m. WilmotRaceway.com is where you want to find out more information. BMR Electric Carts and E-Bikes driver Brad Miller drove to victory. A big surprise off of turn 4 in the final corner of the final lap. He drove to victory to get by Taylor Scheffler to win his 24th career feature race in a dirt late model at his home Plymouth dirt track. That was on Saturday night. That's his 24th win there and his first of 6 appearances. Just 6 times you'll see dirt late models on Plymouth dirt track on the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds this year. That was the first trip for them. Also, congrats to Chad Espin and Grand Nationals, 2-time BMOD champ Tim Warner, and former Plymouth 360 track champion Ben Schmidt. Plymouth, they all won their features as well on Saturday night at the Plymouth dirt track. 38 Badger Midget racers signed in at Kankakee Speedway and Saturday night in Illinois. It was the first trip to the dirt track there for the series in 33 years. It was also the 88th season opener for the Badger Midget Auto Racing Association, a racing event this past Saturday. Congrats to Adam Taylor of Indiana. Next week's guest, Mike Stroik, finished 5th after setting the 3rd fastest time in qualifying behind Kyle Stark and Patrick Bruns. The race was co-sanctioned by the newly relaunched MARA, M-A-R-A, based in Illinois in association with the Badger Midgets. More on that next week when Quinn McCabe joins us with Mike Stroik. So it should be kind of fun to catch up on some Badger Midget racing and happenings as they expand their schedule and sanction throughout the Midwest. Race coverage of the Joe Shear Classic is on its way next week with Bill Helens in the groove, so looking forward to see that as well. Congrats to Ty Majeski, who actually was declared the winner after post-race inspection. Dan Fredrickson had a motor infraction. He admitted the error in not knowing that the spacer was not the proper size in the carburetor spacer in post-race inspection, so his car was disqualified. Danny had a great handling car. Man, that thing was round rails. He said he was just kind of playing with these guys, just laying back, waiting for his opportunity. And he ended up leading the last 34 or so laps. Ty Majeski had some issues early in the race. Got pinched up into the wall trying to race for 3rd with Jacob Gomes out of California in his first trip to Madison International Speedway this past Sunday in the ASA Stars and Midwest Tour race. That was a lot of fun to be part of. The Joe Shear Classic did not disappoint. Fredrickson first across the line, got disqualified for that motor issued, giving the win to Ty Majeski for the 2nd time in the Joe Shear Classic. Bubba Pollard was moved up to 2nd. Gabe Summers had a good strategy. Changed left rear tire early on. You only got 4 in the pits. He changed the last 3 later than anybody else except for Albert Francis, and went on to finish in the third position. Casey Roderick fourth, Levon Vandergeest, Kawicki driver development driver, finished up fifth there in the run at the ASA Stars National Tour Midwest Tour race this past Sunday, the 16th annual Joe Shear Classic 200. The Midwest Truck Series also, we talked about their big win. James Lynch had a great day on Sunday. Their next race is Saturday, May 20th at Wausau's State Park Speedway, run by the Wimmer family. Lots to cover yet on this program. We'll tell you about who's coming on next week. We also want to tell you there's always something to talk about. Join us on social at Racing Roundup on Twitter and Instagram. And also like our show on Facebook, The Racing Roundup Show, where you can find that / The Racing Roundup Show. You can see every one of our shows on demand through our website, racingroundupshow.com. More in a moment on this edition of the Racing Roundup program, live from Polly's.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's Escorted NASCAR Racing Tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program, and what a program it has been. R.J. Braun is racing this weekend. Steve April's racing this weekend. I want to thank them for being on the program. Steve's actually tonight with his brother Jared April at Beaver Dam Raceway racing a modified. We certainly want to thank Bill Baylog for coming on the program as well. Billy, thank you for being here. The Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Sprint Car Racer racing this Saturday, Wilmot Raceway. All-Stars versus IRA happens this Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. Gates open at 4 p.m. there. We also want to thank TJ Zizzo, racing again May 19, 2021 at Route 66 Dragway, Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, Illinois. It's going to be a great meet, and it's his first meet that he's going to be racing, so we're looking forward to seeing how that goes off. And if you can support him, please do that and support TJ Zizzo in his efforts to return to Top Fuel in a brand new piece from Don Schumacher Racing. We also want to tell you that next week's program, a lot of cool guests coming on next week, hosted by Dean Strom. Slinger Speedway Super Late Model Racer Brad Keith will be with us. Wisconsin Wingless Sprint standout Jimmy Sivia is going to be here, former champion of that series. Badger Midget President Quinn McCabe and Midget Racer Mike Stroik will be on the program as well. Plus, we have news and interviews on Wisconsin's racing scene and the world of motorsports. Our website, racingroundupshow.com. Our social channels, at Racing Roundup on Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, our website, racingroundupshow.com, is where you can find all our sponsor logos. Click on those, support them. They support us. We also want to thank our friends at Schlafer Auto Body. They're busy racing, too. They've got 4 generations of racers ready to put to work their expertise since 1974 as an auto body experts. They're in Landon. Your next auto body repair is not that far away, and they'll work with all insurance companies, whatever the size vehicle, big or small. They can do it. They can do it right. Search Schlafer Auto Body on Facebook to get in touch with this family of racers. Please like our show on Facebook. We enjoy it. We have fun. We want to know what you're thinking. Share our show and tell people how much fun we have. We're back here next Tuesday night at Polly's Pub and Eatery with another great show. Big thanks to our show crew, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine, Sam Trado, Dean Strom, and Sherry Prague. Bruce Roger, Mark Goodman. Thank you also to Roger for helping us set up tonight. And a big hello and thank you. We couldn't do the show without Dave Schmalzer, who's celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary this week. I don't know how Sue's done it. She's put up with him for a long time. Happy anniversary to Dave and Sue Schmalzer. 50 years they're celebrating this week, and we could not do this program without Dave and his care and involvement and passion for the Racing Roundup program. Thank you, Dave. We wish you well in celebrating with family and friends your 50th wedding anniversary. We are back here next Tuesday night at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. Come on down, join the racing crowd, another great cast of characters. We're doing some giveaways right now. By all means, we want you to do one thing, maybe a couple things. We always want you to set your DVR, support your local racing, watch it on demand, and get to the racetrack and support them. And we'll see you next week. Have at it, racers.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Like our show on Facebook and share our show with your friends. Follow and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. To listen and watch our shows on demand, visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks. Set your DVRs. Have at it, racers.